Hello, hello. J-Pop back. J-Pop back. I'm back. J-Pop is back with more Ever17, and we will continue. Right here. Yes. How do I load? All right. Are you having stomach pains? Now the Tanuki punched me. You came by. I'll just forget it.
いや、なんでもない。ちょっとこけただけ。
I fell down some stairs.
そうですか。
Is that so? He couldn't bring himself to say that the Tanuki had floored him with one punch. The big Tanuki turned its back and ran. The Tanuki's silhouette pranced lightly away into the distance. A moment later, it disappeared, peered up the hallway ahead.
あれ？あのミュミュどうしたんだろう？
Well, I wonder what happened to that Mew Mew, Mew 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 Mew. The staffer looked after the Tanuki as she spoke.
落ち場に戻りなさいっての。
You probably think I should be getting back to my post, right? Oh well. She looked at him again and smiled, laughing.
お客さん、何かありましたらいつで
If
も
you
呼ん
need
でくださ
anything,
い
don't
ね。
hesitate to call. The staffer disappeared. I see. That wasn't a Tanuki, it was a Mew 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 Mew. I'm screwed. Well, he wasn't sure why Mew Mew had run off and punched him. But he knew that wondering about it wouldn't help. So he decided to forget about it. He needed to be getting somewhere.
もう少し自力で探してみるか。
I'll look around on my own a little more. He muttered this as he composed himself. He knew there should be several attractions at the other end of this corridor. His friends might have been looking for him as they waited in line.
で、どっちに行きゃいいんだ？
So which way should I go? His leg was so tired he could barely move. This is the world's worst theme park. And that's exactly how he felt. Oh well. Hit by a slight dizzy spell, he leaned against the wall.
なんなんだ、一体。
What in the world? He sighed. He was fully and utterly beat. The staffer that had just been talking to him had vanished somewhere. Yu wasn't around either. He had lost sight of the other girl as well. He was alone again.
ここに何しに来たんだっけ？僕は。
What did I come here for? He thought that maybe he should have waited where he was before after all. Having lost his destination, he rode the elevator from the aquarium and returned to basement floor 2. Basement floor 2, Zuete stock. The second floor? I screwed up. The rest area is down one more level. He felt like he had come a long way from the elevator room. He didn't know which path he should take to go down. Which way?
ちょっとこっちに来てくれない？
Could you come here for a moment? A voice called to him from somewhere. From somewhere. From the shadows of the path, the owner of the voice was beckoning to him. But the hand did not belong to a human.
ほら、早く来てよ。
Look, hurry up, will you? It was the whispering voice of a young woman. Her bulky black arm was swaying rhythmically. Oh god. Disturbed by the difference between the voice and its owner's appearance, he moved hypnotized in its direction. The hand and arm clearly belonged to a Tanuki. It was a big Tanuki.
ここ、どこだかわかる？
Do you know where we are? He was led by the Tanuki into a room at the end of the walkway. Or rather, packed into it.
ここは。
Is this the girls' changing room? He saw a uniform like the one Yu had been wearing packed away inside an open locker. Hey, I can even see some women's underwear. The room smelled like perfume. The air was saturated with a scent so strong it almost made him choke. The smell was about to overwhelm him, and he turned into a sexualizing beast that he struggled to get his mind under control and maintain his focus.
ねえ、ここどこだかわかる？
Hey, do you know where we are? Tanuki asked the same question again. Come to think of it, Why was she in a tanuki anyway? He had no clue.
ここは
This
更衣室
is the changing room. She said this before he could answer.
更衣室っていうのは
Changing rooms are
内緒の行為をするところ
a nice place to keep secrets away from prying eyes. She said this quietly, with no slurping.
行為
Secrets? Wham! Suddenly his vision faded. Everything went completely dark.
え
Huh?
それ預かっておいてくれる
Will you look after this for me? Huh? What? What? Look after... He didn't understand.
ほらちゃんと着せてあげるから
Here, I'll help you put it on right.
あ
Wear it? He had no idea what she was talking about. Noises. He didn't understand why, but he couldn't move. He was powerless to resist her and let her do what she wanted. Maybe she's into furries. I'll leave it at that. In a moment, something completely covered his body.
これでよし
This should do it.
じゃあとはお願いね
Alright then, I'll leave the rest to you. And the light sound of her footsteps faded into the distance. The last thing he heard was the click of a door shutting. He heard the sound, but he did not see her leave. What did she do to me? His face felt heavy. His breathing grew heavy. His body felt heavy. He had tunnel vision, and for some reason his body was bristling with hair. He had finally become a man. Could it be this is the mascot outfit? When he shook his head, it made a sound like bristling brushing something. And there was a smell. There was some other scent from inside the costume. A sweet smell that made him dizzy. It pierced deep into his brain. Before he knew what was going on, he had opened the door and was shuffling out into the pathway. Okay, what is wrong with this kid? Can't remember why he's there. Just decides to walk outside. Without thinking, he let out a cry. He had found it. It's that tanuki. He had just heard that it was not a tanuki but Myun, a fox monkey. But that information had already disappeared from his mind. I forgot its name. It doesn't matter though. He's the one that hit me and ran away. He didn't want revenge, but he wanted to ask why it had done it. It had done what it did. Without making a sound, he slowly approached the tanuki mascot Myun fox dog thingy. And as soon as he got behind it, he quickly grabbed the costume by the head. There!
誰
Who are you?
お前こそ誰だ
I should be asking you that.
いきなりあんなことしやがって
Why would you do something like that?
あんなことって
Huh? What did I do?
しらばっくれるな
Don't play dumb with me.
何のことだかわか
I
らな
have
い
no idea what you're talking about.
お前だろう俺を殴ったのは
You punched me.
違うよ違う
No, I didn't.
知らない
I have no idea what you mean.
嘘つけ忘れたのか
Liar. What? Did you forget? Maybe. With this guy, it's plausible.
嘘じゃない
I'm not lying. This girl
突然
gave me this outfit out of nowhere and...
あれお前
What?
そういやさっき会ったっ
You just met her?
けいつの間に着替えたんだ
When did you change?
今来たばっかりだよ
I just put it on. I
今来たばっかり
just put it on.
おい
What
何
are
言って
you
るんだ
talking about?
だけどどうしてこんな
But why do this?
こんな
This... At that point, the tanuki collapsed. He collapsed in full Mew regalia? English escapes me.
どうしたおい
What? Hey! Takeshi shook his shoulders, but there was no response. When did we learn he was Takeshi? Did I miss something?
誰か来てくれなんだか様子がおかしい
Somebody come quick! Something's not right here. He yelled. Visitors watched from a distance.
どうしました
What's the matter? A female employee had heard the fuss and came running.
ああんたさっきの
Ah, you're that girl from before.
こいつ急に倒れて
Just collapsed all of a sudden.
ちょっと見せて
Let me see. The employee took the pulse of the fallen youth. Takeshi wondered if she had any medical knowledge.
大丈夫
He He's alright,
だけど
but we can't
このま
leave
ま
him
にはし
here
ておけないね
like this.
手伝うよ。
I'll help.
ええお願い
Great, thanks. Why had this happened? He had no idea. No idea. Where he was. Where had he gone? Shaking. Shaken. Feeling ill. He could feel hair from the costumes rubbing along both his sides as two people carried him. Rubbing. He wished they'd get the mascot suit off him quickly. The fur felt nasty. It was hot. So hot. So hot he couldn't stand it. The heat made him feel faint. His consciousness felt like it would drift away. Why had this happened? It was strange. So strange. It wasn't him or her. He heard a different voice from somewhere. He had been hauled into the infirmary.
でもなんだろう貧血
I wonder what it could be. Is he anemic?
着ぐるみが暑かったんじゃないか？
Maybe it was the mascot suit. Maybe he couldn't get used to wearing it.
ありえるね熱射病かな
Possible. It could be heat exhaustion.
なんとかなりそうか。
Does it look like he'll be okay?
重い病気
It
じゃな
doesn't
さ
appear
そ
to
うだ
be
し
anything serious.
しばらく休
A
ませて
little
おけば
rest and he
大
should be
丈夫だよ
fine. Let me options. Let me turn down the voice. I'm recording this video before my video is actually uploaded, so I don't have comments on any yet on things that I should do to fix this. Maybe my voice speaking over the other is too many voices all at one time. Anyway, continuing on. I see.
ありがとう手伝ってくれてあとは私が
Thanks for your help. I'll take it from here. Okay, you know what? Maybe we'll do that, but we'll actually drop everything down. Just a hair.
それじゃあ頼むよ。
Oh, alright then. He opened the sliding door and left the room.
人
Phew,
だし
saving
か。
people can sure be stressful.
俺はここに何しに来たんだっけな。
What was it I came here to do? A cool breeze was blowing along the walkway. Breeze. But where was it coming from? He wondered where it come from. He saw something faintly. A ceiling. Sheets. A bed. He had been put to sleep on a bed. On a bed in the infirmary. He saw something again. Below the sick room bed. Who was on the bed below? Who is this? This isn't me. Of course not. He decided to go further down the hall. The third floor underground, they had called it Durete Stock. The guys, they've gotta be lined up waiting for a crowded ride somewhere.
すいません、乗ります。
Hey, sorry, I'm getting in. He dashed into the elevator. The doors reopened slightly and closed again. Huh? One other person had gotten on. A girl. A girl. More like a young woman, I guess. One girl had gotten on. She was about high school age. The elevator floated upward an instant before descending. There was a faint sound of movement and vibration. And then his eyes met with the girl's. He wondered why. The girl stared at him suspiciously.
何
What?
何なのあなた
Just who are you?
どうしてこんなところにいるの
Why are you here?
なんでついてくるのよ
Why are you following me? Alright, apologize. That's exactly who are you, or stay silent. Let's see, apologize for staring at her, stay silent to be a creep, or just ask who are you? Just ask who you are.
俺が何かしたか？
Did I do something wrong?
したわさっき
Yes, you did, just now.
さっき？
Just now. He was getting more and more confused.
つまり
I mean,
あんまり邪魔をしてほしくない。
I don't want you to get in the way. That's all.
邪魔って何を？
Get in the way of what? Boom. Jolting suddenly, the elevator stopped. He looked at the ceiling. The lights flickered unsteadily.
なんだ？
What was that?
まさか
It couldn't be.
まさか何なんだよ。
Couldn't be? Couldn't be what? Couldn't be? He wondered if something had gone terribly wrong and that he was in the way. It was strange. Very strange. Who's this? Oh, it's her. We finally meet. I've been looking for you this whole time. But his voice didn't reach her. Uh-huh. He couldn't hear her voice either, no matter how much he tried. No sounds reached him now. Damn, what's going on? But he saw a figure, faintly. He was able to make sure. He could see himself and the girl talking over there. He saw it on the other side. I could see myself over there. He watched. And he watched. That's strange. No, it's odd. If I'm watching them, then who is me watching me? Something felt out of place. Now he knew the truth and his lips trembled. Who is that? Who could be me over there be? He couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. It was like a dream. It was like he was watching the continuation of a dream. But a dream couldn't have felt so powerfully raw. All of the screaming, all the sound of running feet, the shrill wailing of sirens. That wasn't a dream or an illusion.
まさかって何を
Could
知っ
it
てる？
be? Do you know something about this?
何も知らない。
I don't know anything.
あなたは何を知ってるの？
Do you know something?
知るわけないだろ。
How could I know anything? The lights gradually dimmed and finally went out. Why? He had no idea. He didn't know. There was no way he could know. But there on the bed. There. On the bed. There. The bed below. The bed on top. The bed below. Who are you? Who? Stop. Please stop. Don't come out. Please don't come out. Stay inside. Don't crawl out of there. Stop. Please. Stop. Stop. No. There was nothing to fear. It was alright. Because there was no longer anyone. Because there was no one there.
おい、誰かいないのか？
Hey, who's there? Is there somebody there?
俺はここだ。ここにまだいるんだ。
I'm here. I'm still here. Come get me. I'm right. Oh no, Zero who can do an Arnold
誰
impersonation.
か出してくれよ。
Somebody get me out of here.
返事をしてくれ。
Answer me, please.
誰かいませんか？
Isn't there anyone there? Nobody answered. The surroundings were filled with silence.
なんだ。誰もいないのか。
What? Is anybody there?
一人。
So I'm alone. He burst with laughter. The ultimate feeling of liberation. There was no one to restrain him now. Ha 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 ha. And he ran. But no one stopped him. Getting there was easy. And that was left. All that was left was to aim for the center. Just take a step. It was simple. He threw his body into the water. He sank. Deeper, deeper, and deeper. Sound died away. We have time. The embrace of unbelievably pure silence. Not even a beam of light pierced the darkness. All he could hear was repetitive, heavy breathing. He lost himself, mind short-circuiting. His vision narrowed and was overrun with blue. Deep blue. Blue. Something was strange. He wondered if he was really blue. If he really was blue. Even though he was perfectly still, it seemed as if his heart was racing. Sweat poured off of him. His breathing was ragged and labored. Gradually, his consciousness dissolved into the darkness. Black. Endless black. There was no mistaking it this time. Everything was stained black. There was no boundaries to this color. His ears hurt. The ringing in them wouldn't stop. He felt pressure expanding in his lungs. He felt queasy, sick to his stomach.
気圧が低下してる。
The air pressure is dropping. I forgot, I need to pop my ears. With a pop, the air building inside his ears was released. Damn.
出口はどっちだ
Which way is the exit? Pitch black. Nothing moved. He didn't move either. There wasn't any sign of a breeze. He didn't hear anything. Just echoes from something invisible. Time froze to a stop. If he stopped here, he felt like he would forget that he was even alive. It was his intuition. Only a little more. No. It was no good. He had to get out. But he didn't even know which direction to go. He didn't even have his eyes open. It was so black out there. He had to get himself out of this darkness. Had to. But what could he do? What could... He didn't know. He didn't know. Just then, he felt a faint, warm light. Light. A blade of light slicing through the flat world of darkness. And he knew. The direction was over there. And that might be a way out. If he could get over there. Oh, okay. Okay. I want to save. I want to do... Yes, I want to save right there. Okay, we'll use that simple. Just checking to make sure I saved right. Okay, looks good. Alright. This I do remember now. Is the first important junction of the game. I do remember what I had picked first when I first played this game, and I will follow that. Who am I? I didn't know where I was, but I quietly opened my eyes. The next thing I knew, I was on a bed. The ceiling was so white, it was slightly blinding. It smelled of disinfectant. I wondered where I was.
気がついた
Are you awake now? A shadow passed above me on the bed. I wondered who it could be. No, wait a minute. Somewhere. It felt like I had met this person somewhere before.
具合はどう
How are you doing?
顔色は良さそうだけど
You look alright anyway. Who? Who was it? I knew her. I was sure that I knew her. Still, I couldn't put my finger on any one thing about her that I knew. The more I thought about it, the more the area around my temples pounded with pain.
あれやっぱりダメそうかな
Oh, I guess it's no good then.
頭痛いの
Does your head hurt? I pressed my temples with the fingers of both hands, nodding slightly.
わかったじゃあちょっと待ってて
I see. Just wait a second, alright?
痛み止め探してみるから
I'll try to find some painkillers. She laughed sweetly and stepped away from me. I raised myself and looked around. The room was completely white, with a number of beds tidily lined up in a row. Looking behind me, there was a curved glass window in the wall. I got off the bed and put on my shoes, which were neatly arranged below me. Because we're Japanese, I approached the window. Outside, as far as the eye could see, was one endless sheet of blue. Transparent waves of light swayed gently in the deep, dense navy mist. I put both of my hands on the wall and pushed my face up against the glass. Just then, a flash of silver light darted across my vision. For an instant, I was afraid. Then I noticed it was just a fish. This is the middle of the ocean. What?
どうしちゃったの？
What's the matter? At some point, the girl had come to stand beside me.
当たり前でしょ？
Of course it
こ
is.
こはレミューの救護室なんだから。
This is the Lemu infirmary. Oh man. Lemu! The instant I heard that word, a flash of searching light reappeared in the back of my mind. That's right! That's right! I'd come to Lemu! The theme park Lemu floating in the ocean, where I had been walking around Lemu with her. There were ancient ruins, and whale floating in the darkness, and jellyfish gondola, and merry-go-round. But why had I come to this place, to Lemu? Had I come for fun? Of course I had. This was a theme park after all. But was that right? Was that really the reason? Violent head pain struck me again. I shook my head again and again, my face distorted from the pain.
ちょっと大丈夫？
Hey, are you alright?
もう少し横になってた方がいいんじゃない？
Shouldn't you rest a little more? She helped support me as I returned to the bed.
はい、痛み止め。
I brought you some headache medicine. She held 2 white pills in her left hand, in the right a cup filled with water. White pills. White. 2 of them. Take the meds. Thanks. Remember, kids, somebody offers you drugs, take them. Do not take drugs. If you take drugs, that's on you. I took the pills and gulped them down.
多分軽い気圧障害だと思うよ。
It's probably just mild barotraumas or decompression sickness.
よくいるのよ、お客さんで。
It happens a lot to visitors.
突然具合が悪くなって運び込まれちゃう人が。
They just feel ill all of a sudden and get carted in here. As she said this, she slyly took the cup from my hand. I sank my head back into the fluffy pillow.
そもそも無理があるのよ。
It's a bit of a stretch coming down here anyway.
慣れない人がいきなり6気圧の中で長時間活動するのなんてさ。
People with no experience just jumping into 6 atmospheres for long periods of time. Jeez.
人間は地表の気圧
The
の
air
中で
pressure in the Earth's
快
atmosphere
適
is
に
made
過
for
ごせるよう
people
に
to
作ら
live
れてるんだもん。
comfortably.
こんな密度の濃い空気を吸ってたら
Of course, people are going to have bad reactions to breathing air this thick.
空気と初恋は淡い方がいいに決まってるの。
Air and first love, both should be light, no doubt about that.
コーヒーと初恋なら濃い方がいいけどね。
Coffee and your first time. Well, those of course are better thick. Huh? She touched my face with the palm of her hand. The backs of her slender fingers stroked my cheek. The smooth texture of her skin slipped down from my neck to above my chest, stopping there.
大丈夫。熱はないみたい。
It's alright. You don't seem to have a fever. She smiled at me. Somehow I felt all embarrassed. I pulled the bed cover up to my eyes to hide my face.
それじゃあそのまましばらく休んでて。
Just rest it like that for a while, okay?
私、外の様子見てくるから。
I'll go see what's going on outside. Outside?
なんて説明すればいいのかな。
Yeah, how should I put this?
君が寝てる間にちょっとしたトラブルがあったみたいで。
While you were asleep, it seems that there was a bit of trouble.
まあ、そのことは後で説明するから。
Well, I'll explain it later.
今はとにかく何も考えずにゆっくり休む。
Anyway, for now, just rest and don't worry about anything, okay? Seeing me nod, she walked away from the bed. Hey, wait a second. Huh? Just let me ask you one thing.
何？
What might that be? Why am I here? I just told kid at this is the Lemu infirmary, right?
君はね、スバイトストックの売店でいきなり倒れちゃったの。
You passed out all of a sudden at the kiosk of Zwetstock.
それで私は通りがかりの男の人と君をこの救護室まで運んできて。
And then some guy and I hauled you here.
っていうか覚えてないの？あの時のこと。
You don't remember what happened? Kiosk. At the kiosk. In front of a big window. A sweet smell. Something uncovering my body. A lemur mascot.
お前だろう、俺を殴ったのは。
It was you. You were the one that hit me. That's right, I remember. And I was struck dizzy. Like something being stolen away. I lost consciousness and...
どう？思い出した？
So, do you remember? Yes.
他に質問は？
Do you have any other questions? I shook my head and answered.
はい。それじゃあいい子にして待っててね。
We'll be a good boy and wait here, alright?
すぐ戻ってくるから。
I'll be right back. She patted my head gently and began walking for the door, while I turned my head to stare at her back. My name's Yu. My last name is Tanaka. My real name is much longer though. But it's such a pain, just call me Yu. I remembered her words. Yu turned at the door and looked back at me, lifting her hand to wave, and left the infirmary. All alone inside the room, it was quiet, like time had stopped. I didn't know if the medicine had started to work or not, but my headache was completely gone. As I stared at the ceiling, I thought about the events leading to my being in that bed. Before I passed out, I've been walking around Lemon with you. We got to a shop and we're talking. Then we rode an egg-shaped elevator up 2 floors. Before I'd met you, I'd been in a small park. I was on a bench in that park. I was waiting for someone. Who? Who was I waiting for? I didn't know. My memory was a fog, and thinking about events after that, my mind just seemed to cloud over. I shook my head several times trying to clear it and concentrate. Why was I here? Why had I come to Lemon? Did I come alone, or was it with someone else? What was I doing before I came to Lemon? How had I arrived at this amusement park? It's no use. I can't remember. The thread of my memory was cut off right there. That time on the park bench enjoying ice cream, I couldn't get beyond that. It was like getting lost in a forest and going to turn back only to discover that everything had gone dark. I felt very strange. I felt like I was in the middle of a dream. I felt like I had lost something important, very important. But I didn't know what that something was. And not being able to move forward made me feel that it was specifically because I had lost something important. I felt an unpleasant sense of something lacking. And this sense of something not quite right irritated me. I took my right hand out from under the blanket and stared spacily at the palm of my hand. The countless wrinkles etched there, intertwining, reaching out like the branches of a tree in a complicated patterns. The pinkish skin, and buried deeper the slightly blue veins. And 5 fingers. Had my hand always had this strange shape? Was I always human? Bizarre thoughts hit me from nowhere. No, my right palm was no different than it had ever been. Yet, for some reason, I felt that I had to doubt even the most natural of facts. Maybe, just possibly, until a few hours ago, I might have had 6 fingers. Or 7, or even tentacles. I felt like something was wrong. Could I have been feeling this way because I lost something special? I had opened and closed my hand, just repeating that meaningless, simple exercise. I wandered in the forest, searching for that one lost finger. Excuse me. The door to the infirmary opened and you returned. You dashed into the room and ran toward me as if she were going to bowl me over. What are you doing? There's no time to be sleeping! She shouted at me suddenly. Huh? Completely clueless, I simply laid there stunned. Get up quickly! You peeled away the blanket and dragged me off the bed. What's the matter?
わかんないよ。
I don't know.
わかんないけど、とにかく逃げなくちゃ。
I don't know, but anyway, we gotta escape out of here. You had a panicked expression. The relaxed look that had been in her face just a while ago had vanished completely. Escape? To where?
決まってるでしょ。
There's only one place.
海の上、浮島に逃げるの。
The floating island on the ocean. Why?
いいから、いちいち聞き返さないで。
Because I say, don't ask
逃
questions.
げなきゃいけないから逃げるの。
We're escaping because we have to escape. There was something urgent and powerful in Yu's words. You dragged me along. From the powerful grip, I felt a sharp sense of crisis. I hurriedly slipped on my sneakers and fled out the room with her. The instant we emerged from the sprawling corridor, my feet stopped. I sucked in my breath, my body froze, and I just stared at the light spreading before me. There was something missing. People, sound, warmth. No way. This can't be. The words I muttered were devoured by the eerie silence. Looking back and forth in the corridor, even in the furthest direction, there was no sign of people. Just the man-made walls on both sides. Unnatural light, whiter than light, shone from the ceiling and gave off a cold light. Why? Why isn't anyone here?
わかったでしょ。
You get it now?
だから逃げなきゃいけないんだってば。
That's why we have to escape. Everyone, where could everyone be?
かくれんぼでもしてると思う？
Do kidding? They're playing hide and seek? Do you think they're playing hide and seek?
とにかく今は考えてる暇ないの。
Anyway, there's no time to think about it now.
一刻も早くここを出ないと。
We need to get out of here as soon as possible, or... Saying that, you again tugged my arm. Hunched over and on the verge of tripping, I let you lead me through the wide corridors as we ran. Our footsteps were the only sound echoing in the quiet complex. The more we ran, the more out of breath I became. My heart was pounding. Really, everything just felt like a dream. A nightmare in which some unknown monster was chasing us everywhere, with no clue as to the identity of the monster, nor why we needed to escape. Hair-raising fear rose within me, and I was powerless to do anything. I simply cowered. In a world devoid of people, among faded colors, just Yu's palm grasped my arm. Only the certainty of her touch, that one point of contact, allowed me to retain any connection with reality. Finally, we arrived in front of the elevator. You rushed up the front of the door and pushed the up button. The button was unlit.
ちょっと冗談でしょ。
No way! You gotta be kidding me!
どうして止まっちゃってるわけ？
Why is this thing stopped? You struck the button repeatedly, but nothing happened. The lights stayed off. There was no sign that the floor display above the elevator doors was functioning either. Hey, aren't there any emergency stairs or anything? You looked back and shifted her eyes around as if she were thinking.
ついてきて。
Follow me! Saying only that, she dashed off. Straight down that long, stretching corridor. You turned her head to the left and right, looking for something. It looked like she'd soon found what she was looking for. She headed toward it single-mindedly. A ladder, next to it written in straight red letters, "Emergency Exit," with an arrow pointing upward. On the other end of the ladder was the ceiling and a sturdy-looking door with a round-shaped handle attached to it. Are there emergency stairs on the other side? Without answering, you started climbing the ladder. She turned the handle and opened the door.
さあ、早く。
Now, hurry!
ここは緊急避難用の通路。
This is an emergency escape corridor.
この通路の途中に非常階段がついてるの。
There are emergency stairs that run along it. You told me this quickly while we ran. The corridor stretched in a gentle arc so that the far end was not visible. A scenery of repetitive The scenery was repetitive, and I began to have delusions that I was running in place. Where in the world am I right now? How far do I have to run? I just had to trust in you and chase after her back. Suddenly, you turned right. Inertia kept me going forward. Afraid I would miss the turn, I grabbed the corner with my hand, yanking myself around and chasing after you again. The route had become straight. Immediately to the left, a green-colored light for emergency stairs was lit up. Below the light was a closed door. You jumped toward the door's handle. This is stiff. This is so... You was so desperately trying to turn the handle. It won't open? It'll open. I'll open it for sure. I'll make it open. Well, don't just stand there. Get over there and help me. Spurred by her words, I firmly grabbed onto the handle. I tried with all my might to turn it into the direction the arrow said, open. Damn, what's with this? It won't budge an inch. It was stuck fast, almost as if it had been welded shut. It didn't look like it would move to the right or left. We'll try to turn it when I say no. Ready, go. I promise we won't do that. Okay, here we go. Ready, go. With that, I threw my complete weight onto the handle. Damn. Open! Just then it happened. A sound arose as if it was from inside the earth, echoing heavily from somewhere. You and I relaxed our grip and looked at each other. What was that sound? The walls shook. A small vibration shook the handle we had grabbed. The lights on the ceiling flashed irregularly. The metal mesh floor was clanging against itself. An earthquake? It couldn't be. Where? In the middle of the ocean, after all. There are still earthquakes in the ocean. The vibrations gradually increased in intensity. The squeaking sound of steel against steel not shocked our ears. You and I held our breath, waiting still. We tried to focus, sharpening our senses, our eyes wandering the void. A low growling sound, like the groan of a monster. A monster approaching. A voice filled hate and rage turned to a howling roar, sending shivers up my spine. Where's that coming from? Huh? Where's it coming from? What? Yu's voice approached the scream. Her face lost all color and her lips went dry. Her eyes behind her silky swaying bangs looks as if they were about to cry. Silky swaying bands. Wind. It's wind! Muttering this, I looked in the direction of the wind, down the extremely long corridor. Something appeared pushing and vying for space. No way. You're kidding. It couldn't be. Water? A monster came crashing toward us at a terrifying speed, mixed in a roiled spray of water. There was no doubt. It was a rushing behemoth of water. Behemoth of water. A massive froth of waves. It was not the time to be shouting. You and I started sprinting desperately. We turned left at the corridor and ran. And ran and ran. The voice of the monster was right on our heels. But we couldn't look back. If we looked back, we felt like we would be swallowed up. Something beyond fear or terror that made our minds go completely blank. We couldn't even think. We could only run desperately for our lives. My shoulder bumped against the wall of the narrow corridor. It looked like my foot could be caught up in the bent metal flooring. Avoiding the pipes that hung down, we leaped over the raised entrance of the watertight door and ran. We just ran on and on. This has got to be a dream. For an instant, that thought cut across my mind. In a world without people and faded colors, a drooling monster was reaching its bristling white arms out toward my neck. We were spit out with a mass of water into the sprawling room. We were turned head over heel in the violent water. Several times, maybe several dozen times, over and over again, until finally my body stopped moving. Ouch, 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 ouch. I peeled my body from the soaking floor. Water was still pouring in from the far side of the open emergency exits. Water was flowing down like a waterfall and spreading smoothly toward the far corridor as if it were crawling across the floor. That's right, what about you? Just as I thought that and looked back, Yu was standing up. You okay? I shook the soaked Yu's shoulders and looked into her eyes. They were empty. Her purplish blue lips were quivering. Yu was completely dazed. You! Hang on! The level of water had continued to rise during this short time. What should I do? What should I? Just then it happened. The watertight doors at the four sides of the room began to close at once. The doors are closing, ever so slowly, letting off a dull sound. You! I tried shouting and even shaking her harder, but there was no response. Rather, Yu's body went limp as she collapsed to the floor. Hey, quit goofing around! Come on! I took Yu's arm and put it over my shoulder, lifting her up. I started walking towards the nearest watertight door. Yu was heavy like a stone. Water pooled around both my legs and I couldn't move forward as fast as I wanted. Gradually, a steel partition slid down from above. Another one came up from below, pushing water away as it was moved. The stopped up water swirled around. As the width between the doors narrowed, the water level increased. Come on, make it in this time. Please, just make it in time. Sadly, the door didn't stop moving. There was only one small opening left for us to escape. Ooh! There's no way I'm going to die here! Giving a shout, I ran, pushing the water out of the way. Yu's slumping body weighed heavily on my shoulder, but I couldn't let go of her arm. I pulled together all my power. Almost there! Almost right there! Thwump! With one hand I had grabbed hold of the edge of the... Just barely. Just a few seconds after I had squeezed our bodies through the narrow gap, the watertight door closed completely. We placed our backs against the closed door and collapsed. There was almost no sense of relief. Both my legs were shaking, and my heart was beating like it would explode. We spent a few moments there in a stupor. The next thing I knew, the seawater had mostly disappeared from the floor. That's not to say it was completely dry, it was still wet, and my body and Yu's. That's cute. We were still soaked. Are you alright? Huh? What? You were really out of it until just a second ago. Who was? You were. Me? I was? You stood up and took her wet hair in hand, wiping away the water droplets around her eyes with the palm of her hand. Oh, that's right! The water carried us away. Carried and carried and carried us away. And what happened? We got swept into the next corridor over. And then all of a sudden the watertight doors started to close. But you were all spacey. And to make things worse, you fainted. So how did we get out? I got us out. You? Yup. Really? What? You don't believe me? But... You seem more like the type that needs help rather than dishes out to help out. What? What's that supposed to mean?
そうそう冗談冗談
Oh, it's a joke. I'm just kidding. Not really.
本当に助けてくれたんだったらお礼言わなきゃね
If you really did save us, I suppose I should thank you.
ありがとうございました
Thank you. You bowed her head slightly. Do you really mean it?
思ってるよ多分
Of course. I guess. I don't remember. I fainted. You know, I've been helping you most of this time. You guess?
だから冗談だってば
I said I was joking.
すぐ真に受けちゃうんだからこの純情少年ね
You take everything so seriously. You're just an innocent youngin'. Oh, whatever. Well, I suppose I owed you one anyway.
仮
Owed me? When I collapsed at the shop, you helped me, right? So now we're even. When I said that, Yu's face lit up with a smile. Anyway, enough of that. Let's hurry up and find an exit.
そうだね
Yeah,
またどこで浸水が始まるかわかんないし
you never know when there might be another flooding. Yu was checking the ceiling and walls as she started walking. I followed along behind her. We cut across the wide room headed for the exit. There was a big, empty, mechanical merry-go-round, without music or the voices of children playing. Only its bright lights glowed in a lonely sort of way.
ね
Hey,
えそういえばまだ名前聞いてなかったよね
that reminds me, I haven't even asked your name yet. Huh?
名前君の名前
Name. Your name. Oh, yeah, that. My name is, And? I didn't know. I didn't know my name. My name. There's no way. It couldn't be. I should know it. It's my name. My very own name. Name. Then all of a sudden a shock shot through my whole body.
どうしたの
What's the matter? My head hurts. It seemed like it would split right open. I felt my head in both arms and crumbled forward.
大丈夫
Are you alright? Grinding my teeth, I desperately tried to endure the pain. Darkness blanketed my eyes. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't hear anything. The darkness invaded my brain and gloomed together. It was a glob that would devour my brain and dissolve it into mush.
ねえしっかりしてよ
Hey! Hang in there! I didn't know. My name. Who could I possibly be? Dun dun dun! The next thing I knew, I was on a bed. The ceiling was so white, it was slightly blinding. It smelled of disinfectant.
気がついた
Are you awake now? A shadow passed above me on the bed. You looked at me as if she were worried. This is
おかげさまでまた振り出しよ
back to the beginning, thanks to you. The beginning? The infirmary, huh?
ねえ今度から倒れる時にはこの部屋の近くにしてくれない
Hey, next time you decide to go and kneel over, can you do it somewhere a little closer to this room?
大変だったんだからね君を背負ってここまで来るの
Because it's really a pain hauling you piggyback all the way here. Sorry?
あ別に謝らなくてもいいんだけどさ
Oh, it's alright. You don't have to apologize.
ところで
By the way,
思い出した名前
did you remember your name? Name? That's right! My name! We're back to this!
ちょっと待って
Oh, hold on a sec.
無理に思い出そうとしなくていいから
You don't have to try to force yourself to remember.
またさっきみたいになっちゃうとあれだしね
I don't want you getting like you did before, alright? You said it very carefully.
これからいくつか質問するけど
I'm going to ask you a couple of questions.
とにかく落ち着いて体を楽にして答えてほしいの
So just calm down. I want you to relax and answer them.
いい
Alright? Sure.
まず今日の日付はわかるかな？
First, do you know today's date? Today is the 1st. May 1st, right?
日付は覚えてるんだ。
You remember the date.
じゃあ君の年齢は？
So how about your age? Age.
生年月日でもいいんだけど。
Your birthday will do, either way. I tried hard to pull together the threads of my memory, my age, my birthday. When I started to think about it, my temples began to throb.
ほら、深く考えないの。
Hey, no straining yourself.
思い出せないなら思い出せないって、そう言ってくれればいいだけだから。
If you can't remember, then you can't remember. Just say so. But that didn't mean I could stop thinking about it. I endured the headache as I felt like I wandered lost through a forest. There had to be an exit hidden somewhere. I just didn't know where.
オッケー、わかった。
Okay, I got it.
君は自分の名前も年齢も生年月日も覚えてないのね。
So you don't remember your name, age, or birthday, right?
住所や電話番号はどう？
How about your address or telephone number?
じゃなかったら家族のこととか友達のこととか何でもいいんだけど。
If not those, then how about your family, friends, or anything?
やっぱり思い出せない？
So you can't remember. It was like you said. I didn't have any memories of anything. A sense of something not being right gnawed at my mind. No, it was something closer to a sense of loss. I felt like I had lost the bulk of my existence. Like someone had stolen me away, and the me that was left was just an empty shell. The me that was here, who knew if it was really even the real me. The instant that thought went through my mind, I was frozen by an icy wave of unease. Scared, isolated, lonely. You. I grabbed firmly onto Yu's hand. The shocked smile, her warm palm. That warmth was the only thing saving me.
もう大丈夫だよ。
It's alright now.
男の子なんだからそんな泣きそうな顔しないの。
What are you, a baby? Stop with that sad face. She shot me a smile as she squeezed my hand back.
記憶喪失ってそんなに珍しいことじゃないと思うよ。
I don't think that amnesia is all that uncommon. Amnesia?
記憶がないんだから記憶喪失でしょ。
You don't have any memory, so that's memory loss or amnesia, right? Of course it is. I'm a doctor.
なんだろうな。
I wonder what caused it.
気圧障害の関係かどこかで頭を打っちゃったのか。
The air pressure change, or maybe you hit your head somewhere.
それとも何か精神的な強いショックを受けたのかもしれない。
Of some severe mental shock, maybe.
例えば過激なアトラクションに乗って頭がパニクっちゃったとかさ。
Like riding a crazy ride and maybe you panicked or something.
でも心配しないで。
But don't worry.
きっと一時的なものだからすぐに記憶は戻るはず。
It's probably just temporary. It'll come back. Think so?
そうだよ。
For sure.
大事故にでもあって脳に致命的な損傷を受けたとか。
Of course, if you were in a major accident and had several trauma to the brain, that would be a whole different thing. Not your hero. Onward.
今日もそんな感じでもなさそうだし。
But that doesn't seem to be the case. You put her hand on my hair and gave me a smile so bright I almost needed sunglasses. That smile flooded into my heart, wiping away the remains of the unease that was swirling there.
さあ、そろそろ行こうか。
So, do you want to get going?
このまま子守歌でも歌って君を寝かしつけてあげてもいいんだけど。
I could sing you a lullaby and tuck you in, but
残念ながらそんなのんびりとしてられる状況じゃないのよね。
unfortunately we don't have time to relax.
わかるでしょ？
You understand, right? I nodded and got off the bed. You started walking for the door. My eyes stopped at the bluish ribbon on Yu's back. The ribbon seemed to have taken on water and glittered brightly, like the wings of a newborn fairy. It's no good, it doesn't seem to open. You said that after trying to move the door with her weight several times. These were the emergency stairs. or more accurately, it was the passage on the way there. The emergency stairs would spiral like the emergency stairs wound spiral-like around a fat pipe. If we followed these stairs, they would take us to the floating island, or at least in theory. But right now in front of us stood a thick steel wall. The wall had a small watertight door. If we could squeeze through that, then we couldn't. If we couldn't squeeze through that, then we couldn't make our way any higher. Excuse me a sec. This isn't the floating island yet, is it?
当たり前でしょ。
It's pretty obvious, isn't it?
それどころかエルストボーデンだってまだまだ先なんだから。
Not even, I mean, we haven't even hit Ever17, so we've still got a long way to go. Ever17, was that the basement floor one? You nodded. What does that mean in terms of depth? How deep is it?
そうね。スバイトストックが34メートルだから。
Let's see, sweat stock is 102 feet deep, so
30メートル前後ってとこかな。
around 90 feet, give or take, I guess.
まだ4、5メートルくらいしか登ってきてないもん、この階段。
We've only climbed around 12 or 15 feet on these stairs. 90 feet deep. 90 feet sounded so close, but in any event, if the door didn't open up, then that was it. Hey, I wonder why it won't open.
さあね。
Who knows?
呪文でも必要なんじゃない？
Maybe there's a secret spell or something. Spell? You mean like open sesame that kind of spell?
またそうやって真に受ける。
There you go, taking me seriously. Well, what then?
教えてほしい？
You really want to know? Yeah.
聞かない方がいいかもよ。
Maybe you better not ask. Huh?
どうするの？聞くの？聞かないの？
So what are you gonna do? Do you want to hear it or not? Which is it? Alright. Let me make sure I get my saves all in place. Okay, I'm going to end this episode here. I hope that anybody that's watching this is enjoying it. I had forgotten how I had forgotten a lot of this story. I like reliving it. I'll admit it's a bit more draggy than I remember, but also if I remember right, it'll pick up later as most things do. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna end this episode here. Hope you enjoyed it. Stick around for further episodes in the future, and I hope to see you then.